Hello and welcome back to the Palaeocast Gaming Network. I'm Caitlin and today we're taking another look at Parkasaurus because it's been quite a while since I visited this game for the channel and there have been a couple of little updates, and I also just wanted to take another look at the different dinosaur species that we can get in the park. Now this map is called Toronto, so I'm not sure if this looks at all like Toronto, obviously not with the dinosaurs there, but it's apparently Toronto, and these people don't mind having dinosaurs just walking around their houses. I mean, I wouldn't mind that, but I don't know if I would want my house to be in a zoo with all the people gawking at my house and the dinosaurs. Anyway, so first up we have some Ankylosaurus, and I'm going to go into first person mode with this tranquilizer gun, except I will put my gun away. You must be one of the vets, one of the keepers. And let's see if we can get a good look at the Ankylosaurus. Very cute. You can see their osteoderms running along the back. So these pink spiky lumps, obviously is, very cartoony, but those are part of the bony armor that Ankylosaurus had on its back. And then it also has this big club tail, which I've also put a couple of osteoderms on, but it itself would have been made out of solid bone, so I'm not sure if there was any dermal armor, that is the osteoderms and other pieces like that on there, but it's a nice little, cartoon representation of Ankylosaurus, I think. Okay, who else have we got in the park? Parasaurolophus. Now these are all sleeping at the moment, so might be a bit harder to see what they're doing. God, they look a little bit big for their enclosure. I'm sorry, it's a small map, so it makes it quite difficult to make enough space. Oh, there it is. Oh, hello. Sorry. Oh, wow, look at that night sky. That's beautiful. Woke them up, obviously. Or maybe they're nocturnal or diurnal. I don't actually know if we think Parasaurolophus was a nighttime roaming around type of creature, so that would be nocturnal, or diurnal, which means being more active during the daytime. You could normally tell that sort of thing by looking at the size of the eyes. If you needed larger eyes at nighttime to bring in more light, because it's such a low light environment. That doesn't always equate to being a nocturnal animal. But these Parasaurolophus have that classic head crest sweeping back, and then they've just got their 3 fingers, 3 toes. So again, very simple little models, and they are huge, which is like, that's accurate. And now I feel bad for how large they are and how small their enclosure is. So these are Seismosaurus, so some of the largest animals to have ever walked the earth. They look quite lumpy in the back. That's just the way that they've been drawn, been modelled in the game. The sleeping position is interesting, because I do imagine they would have curled their heads around like that. I'm not sure if they would have sat down on the ground though, if they would have slept standing up, because there are a lot of large mammals that actually do just sleep standing up, because it would be very hard to get back up when you're this large if you're laying down sleeping. Oh, that's a large animal. And they've shown here with their claws, the nails on their front feet and back feet. Yeah, the front feet look quite nice and columnar. The back feet should have a few... is that a spike on their foot, or is that just the way it's modelled? The back feet should have more obvious claws rather than just being so flat. Oh gosh, I feel like he's about to attack me. But I think the feet just sort of, the back feet and the front feet look the same. But again, this is very simplistic, stylized type of art, so I'm not mad at that. Now, let's go back over here where I have waiting to hatch. Oh, the eggshell's looking a bit weird there. Some Velociraptor. There they are, they're so tiny. adorable. Let's see. You can actually see, yeah, you can see a little bit of a sickle claw on the toes there. Love that attention to detail. So they've got 2 of the toes touching the ground, and the other toe is in the air as a little tiny little sickle claw, and then 3 fingers on the hand. So excellent stuff. This is one of the other things I wanted to share with you, that the Dinopedia is now complete since the last time I played it. It has been complete for a little while. And again, the kid in me just loves having this. I mean, the adult in me loves having this as well, but this book where you've got... So first of all, you've got this entire timeline, and I think my video is actually covering the Paleogene, Neogene, but I'll put in a screenshot of what the whole timeline looks like. So we have Precambrian, then the start of the Paleozoic, so the Cambrian, Ordovician, Silurian, Devonian, Carboniferous, and Permian periods, and then for the Cenozoic era we have Triassic, Jurassic, Cretaceous. And so because we're interested in looking at dinosaurs in this game, this is where we're going to be spending most of our time. And then the Paleogene, Neogene is the Cenozoic era, so that's more recent stuff, big megafauna, and then obviously us. But I really enjoy the fact that they've included this whole timeline. I'm not sure if this means that there will be other creatures from different periods or eras in the game, but realistically, because it is Parkasaurus and looking at dinosaurs, we're sticking with Triassic, Jurassic, and Cretaceous. So you can scroll through the book and this arrow will show you the time period at which this animal lives. So I just think that's a really neat way of showing which animals would have been contemporaneous or not. So I do want to build a park at some point with just all the correct contemporaneous creatures. And so if we find a Velociraptor, oh, there we go. So they are theropods, obviously. They need meat. A desert biome is what they need, and you can tell this back in the other part of the game as well. I love, also, just love the window. That actually is, you know, what my park looks like through that window, not just a generic window. So really appreciate that as well. Okay, so Velociraptors need sand in their terrain. I mean sand as the terrain in their enclosure. Right, and just throw some rocks down everywhere. Okay, now it's got loads of rocks. Let's see what the Velociraptor think of that. So, oh, you need food. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's give him some food. Let's do a small meat feeder. Oh, and I better add a gate into the enclosure so that people can actually get in there. Actually, let me put the gate there. Go to the shops and buy some fresh meat and insects. Okay, that's cool. So as far as the carnivore diet, you've got just generic meat, but then insects, fish, they call it medium cuts, maybe is fish, and then large cuts. So Velociraptor would have eaten small creatures like insects, lizards, small mammals, other things like that. And I also know in this game that you can get Protoceratops, and at the moment at least, when I try to get the right gem to hatch a Protoceratops as well. Are they outside? Okay, how did they get out? How did they get out? What do I do again? I need to tranquilize. Tranquilize. And tranquilize. How did they get out? Could not find free security. Can I quickly hire someone? Security. Who looks good? 333-230-133. Let's go. 332. Yes, good. Hired. Thank you. All right, now please. Why are those Velociraptor out? And they completely destroyed all those. I mean, I know they didn't have food, but did they slip through the barrier? Is it too small? Like they just walked straight back through there. Oh, is it because I put that gate there and then I deleted the gate? And there's no fence. Okay, all right. Well, you don't actually need to tranquilize them anymore. Can I tell him not to tranquilize? Oh well, the Velociraptor are going to get tranquilized, and then I'll just immediately put them back in the enclosure. Okay, so that one's been tranquilized. So I'll just put them straight back in. There you go. Alright, so it's nighttime. We've staved off that incident of Velociraptors escaping. And what I wanted to talk about as well was the fact that these dinosaurs... Oh god, it's so distracting when there's all these little things happening. A thief's been escorted out of the park. There's some odd coloured poop. This one's unwell, so I'm going to request general medicine. Okay, back to my Velociraptor. The enclosure biome design being a desert is accurate because the Velociraptor fossils, Velociraptor mongoliensis, is found in Mongolia. And when Velociraptor were living during the late Cretaceous, that part of the world was also a desert, not still I should say. Mongolia and those parts of the world are quite arid nowadays, and it was a very arid environment in the Cretaceous as well. And there's a particularly interesting fossil of Velociraptor fighting with a Protoceratops andrewsi, and it's called the fighting dinosaurs, this famous fossil of a Velociraptor and a Protoceratops locked in combat, locked in battle. And then they've presumably been buried by a sandstorm or maybe a dune collapse or something like that that very quickly covered them with sand, which is very sad, but it makes for a really cool fossil. So I know that there are Protoceratops in this game, and I will get to the stage of building them at some point. But the thing I found interesting when I was looking at the Dinopedia for Protoceratops, they've marked them as having not a desert environment, but a taiga environment or biome. And taiga is a more recent, geologically speaking, type of very high latitude grasslands and sort of boggy, mossy ground that, like the steppes, the Russian steppes that mammoths lived on, tens of thousands of years ago. That sort of biome didn't exist, to my knowledge, during the Mesozoic, let alone the Cretaceous of Mongolia. And so I just find it interesting. I'm not sure what their different reasoning for allocating different biomes to the dinosaurs in this game was, but Velociraptor get a desert, which is correct, but Protoceratops gets taiga. Maybe because taiga is more mountainous, and they perhaps thought that the Protoceratops lived in a more mountainous region. But as we saw before, with a desert biome, you can have it just as rugged. So yeah, I just find that interesting. So there's one more thing I want to do in Parkasaurus, which again, this update's been out for a little while, but let me just quickly save my game. I've been meaning to check this out and to share it with you on the channel. Realistic mode. So it's just a funny update that the devs did to add more texture to the dinosaur models, more bumpy, rugged skin and that sort of thing, and make them look a bit more realistic, which obviously when it's laid over the top of a stylized, cartoony sort of body, they don't look realistic, but the devs knew what they're doing and they're just having a bit of fun with it. But let's go have a look at these realistic dinosaurs. So if we go back to our Velociraptor, let's get on the ground, and I don't need to tranquilize them. I guess I could have tranquilized them in first person when they escaped. Dang. Oh well. Next time. Oh, here we go. Alright, so now it's got purple along its back. It's got a little bit more colour changes on the green of its skin. But yes, not hyper realistic. But still, I like the fact that they put that in there. Parasaurolophus. I think they're muddy just because they've been playing in a mud pit that I gave them. Oh yes, they've got a lot more bumpy textured skin. And where are our Ankylosaurs? In realistic mode. And the park's about to close. I think one of the things I like with these models is they got the width right. These were wide animals, so good on them for that. And they've made this eyes a little bit smaller as well, so that's a bit more accurate. And yeah, give them slightly more textured skin. But yeah, so that's realistic mode in Parkasaurus. I thought that would just be funny to check out. It's so noisy. It was so noisy. It's like I did say before, I would like to live in one of these houses surrounded by dinosaurs, and I mean, I think I still would, but it would be extremely loud. But I probably would spend all day just staring out the window looking at them. So why would you want to leave your house if this is where you lived? So that's Parkasaurus in 2021, the end of 2021. And yeah, it is, oh my God, it looks so lumpy. Oh man. It is still a really fun little game to play. And I know that the latest Jurassic World has come out, and when I have the funds at some point, I'll probably pick that up and play that. I know that other people in our team are going to play that as well, but I like not having a constant narration of things that you should be doing or not be doing or whatever in the game, and I can just cruise around and do what I want to do. So thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please do give it a like and consider subscribing to the Palaeocast Gaming Network.